Right, so this is, excuse my arm reaching across, our final video in this lily pad stamp club peony garden. So sort of a bittersweet moment. So what we're going to do for this video is we're going to throw the colour palette out of the window. So all the way along we've stuck pretty well to that petal pink, basic grey and grey granite that was the colour palette in the papers and things, that if you've got the entire suite, those are the colours you'd have had in your papers and such like. But we're not only going to want to use those colours with our stamp set, so for this one, as I say, we're throwing the colour palette out of the window. So let's start. Start with a memento here because I've got my stamping blends out. So we'll start by stamping this. I'm going to have it coming across the bottom here of this piece of Whisper White card. I think I may do the same. Although I need to come that way a little bit. That's quite fun. Take this next size peony. Oh no, behave. Hopefully we're going to be able to cover that up. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Another one going in there, and then we'll take the little one. Fill in on these corners. Okay, move those out the way for now. I've got here some old olive, some real red, cherry cobbler, bit of seaside spray, a little bit of daffodil delight. Where shall we go? Where shall we start? I'm going to start. I'm going to put some dark daffodil delight in the centre of this sort of open peony. I'm going to come in with some dark cherry cobbler. And just where the shading and things is. around the edges here. Take the light cherry cobbler and just bring that colour out a bit more. I'm not going to cover the entire flower, we're just going to sort of drag that colour out a bit more. And I'll take the dark real red. I'm going to come all over it and blend that in, and where that darker colour is, hopefully we should sort of get a sense of a bit of shading. That's very different from petal pink, isn't it? Let's do the same with the one on this side. So we'll start with the dark cherry cobbler. Come in where all that shading was. And earlier on in the club, I posted that Pinterest link with all the different coloured peonies, so you could go in and see what sort of colours you'd like to do yours. You could do all sorts of colours. You really don't have to be pale pink. Light cherry cobbler. We'll just extend that shading out. And then let's take the dark real red and we'll come over the top of it all again and blend that all out. There we go. So back to our dark. This is really quite dark. Let's pop a little bit of, just have a little bit of Daffodil Delight going on in the middle there, just because we can. There's quite a bit of darker shading in this big flower. And here. Right, light cherry cobbler. So we'll extend that out, particularly where this darker shading is around here. Let's take this dark real red and come all over the top. Blending all that colour. With a mixture of the darker colour underneath plus the detail on the stamp. Get all that nice light and dark. With stamping blends, you do have to leave it to, as it dries, the colours in them change a little bit. Swing this round. And here. I think my dark cherry cobbler might be starting to wane a little bit. Feeling a bit sorry for itself, I think. Might be adding dark cherry cobbler to an order very soon. I think I'm going to transfer to the light cherry cobbler. This one perhaps won't be as dark as the other one, but that's okay. A little bit of daffodil delight in the middle, and then let's find our dark real red and come over the top. There we go, around here. This one I'm just putting down the dark red on this bud, and then I'm going to come in with the light red. Do the same with this bud. Come in with the light real red. And then with these smaller flowers as well, we'll go with the dark and light real red combo. The other thing you can do if you do want to add in a slightly darker shade and you haven't got a darker colour in that sort of colourway, you can always go in with sort of a pale grey. Leaves there that we need to go in with, and let's do this one in the real red. You can see the difference now though between let's come this way, the ones that I've done just real red and the ones that I've added cherry cobbler into. There's quite a distinct difference in the colour. Around we come, just sort of following the artist's lines. What I'm going to do is going to take my Daffodil Delight and just add a hint of yellow in there. I'll do the same for this one when I'm got that bar. Bring in and a bit of dark Daffodil Delight in there. Right, I've got some old olive here. So let's, this is the dark old olive. First, move this round. Bring in the light old olive and just Put these in and blend them out. And just here. And we come. And this bottom leaf just here. I'm just going to extend that green out to the edge. Blend this colour out. And then there's just a couple of little leaves on here. Just add those in. Light seaside spray here. Just going to very different in terms of colours. Much more vibrant and popping off the page. And we come. There we go. So that blue in the background is hardly standing out, but if I was to stand it next to a bit of white, you can see how that's changed that background colour. That's a fun bit of paper, isn't it? That's actually a piece of Christmas paper. It comes from the Heartwarming Hugs suite of products, DSP pack. Okay. I'm thinking, cut a piece of old olive that is 14.4 long and 10 wide. That will give us a nice little mat behind there. And then going to this piece of cardstock at 14.9 along that length of it, just there. So it's 14.9 wide, and then if I score it, 14.9 with a nice square card. Let's bring this in, and I'm going to cut this at 14.4 that way by 14.4 that way. Let's have a look. Sit as a panel on the top there. How different is that from the other cards we've done? As always with stamping blends, you get the colour bleeding through to the back of the card, but that just shows that it's doing its job. So we'll sit that on that mat like that. Wrap a little bit of this real red ribbon around here, and this comes from the Poinsettia suite. I'll just get some tape and attach it to the back of the paper. And we've got a nice stripe on the back of there. Stick this down. So this one definitely isn't a sympathy card, is it? So I think we'll get some dimensionals and pop those on the back of here. Getting to the end of this sheet, so I'm just tearing some bits off. So this could be a happy birthday, could be an anniversary of some sort. Bring that ribbon off. Find some glue dots. I think I might also go with a different deciding what sort of a greeting to have on there. And says, "You are simply wonderful." Grab a block. A red ink pad. What thinks you? You are simply wonderful. Let's take the trimmer. No, it's going to come over that edge a little bit. It's better. Do that. And then we'll take some old olive. Big scissors because it's easier for this sort of a job. Those are some dimensionals as well. Another couple in the middle. There. A very, very different sort of card, but the same set. A good, fun way to finish this set of projects. So let's have a quick recap. Let's see what we can find. We got everything here. I think so. What have we created? So we've got that beautiful, stunning red card just there. We've done notebooks. We've had quilted cards, relatively simple cards just with little scalloped circles. We've had our fancy folds. We did our one sheet wonder. Six cards from our A4 sheet. And a bit of a technique where we were wax resist with our embossing folder. We had our card where we stamped the two down the centre of the card and cut it in half. Got our card with our 3D peony, our long and thin card. We've got our gift box, this little magnetic clasp. Is that everything? Has that covered everything? And as well as all of those goodies, there's been all the other inspiration Pinterest links. So I hope that you have enjoyed that. I hope that you have felt that you've had lots of good use out of your stamp set, your papers, your dies, your card, and that there'll be plenty there to keep you going with your stamp set and your supplies for a good while yet. Just final zing. There's our one that we've done today, featuring those different colours. So it's been great fun. Thank you for joining me on this Lily Pad Stamp Club, and I hope you'll come back and join me for another one soon.